What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Family Network. And today we're doing a little, I guess we're giving out some tips on how we do things. This is not how, we don't really tell you how you should do it. We just show you how we do it. So today is what I'm going to talk about is fertilizing. Fertilizing is one of the, I guess, most important things in a garden. But what we've been using organically is hard to find manures and stuff. So I've been going with this organic line for the last, I think, 2 years. And the only reason I've been going with it, as opposed to when we first started here on this property, we was kind of solely Epsom salt and fish emulsion, the Alaska's fish fertilizer. With this, we was getting it for like $1 and some a bag on clearance at Home Depot. Yep. These came from Home Depot. The Nature's Care ones. So we kind of went with that, and that's kind of how we fertilize, is wherever we find the deals at, that's what we use. But on top of that, still this stuff is not enough. If you were buying it regular price, I think it costs like 9 something or 7 or 8 or maybe like $9, I believe. So that's expensive. So how do you get around if you got to pay full price for something like this or any kind of fertilizer? With your organic fertilizer, you'll be able to do this method. With synthetic, I wouldn't try it. So that's why I like the organic fertilizers, is because the NPK is low, where it won't actually damage or hurt the plants. With this, what I want to show you is kind of what we do, and you can look in here. We actually kind of try to watch the rain, try to watch your forecast. When they say there's a big rain coming, and you can see how I actually will get a handful. I'm gonna show you on that one, and then I'll show you that we've done it with the rest of them. So basically, show them my hand. Basically, I just take a handful of this stuff, and you can see how brown it is down there already. So like I say, if you're gonna be watering, water this stuff in, or if not, a lot of this organic stuff tends to start molding if you don't really kind of work it into the soil. So what you want to do is just work it in gently. What I notice is, you can see it's a lot of feeder roots that be close to the top of the soil, so you don't want to kind of mess with them too much. If you can, grab some soil from somewhere else in the bed and then put it on top of there like that. That way you won't have to work it in too much, and you can kind of cover it up in the soil. And then after that, you can just do a little watering. All right, so this is actually a part 2 video. Part 1 we actually released on March the 1st. If you go back to that video, you can kind of see how these little babies were so small, so babyish. And we've actually, this is one of the methods we used on this particular plant. It was, I think on that video, we planted this one and we planted this. You can check out this jalapeno, and they're actually growing well. We kind of do this when we think about it. It's not on a particular regimen or schedule, whereas you probably would have a little bit more success if you was on a regimen or schedule. And you can see right here, I'll have to do the same thing. We got a real heavy rain, so that kind of helped us out. And all you want to do is just cover up some of that organic fertilizer. Like I said, it will mold on you and start getting mold around your plants, and you don't want that. All right, look at that. One of the snow peas came out, or the pod. Look at the pods. So we didn't harvest these on time.
That, I think.
And look at that big worm on it.
I planted him over here.
You planted him?
Not that, you.
Oh, look, he going inside of the snow thing. He going inside the pea pod. Check that out. All right, so I'll get them later. Another thing with your peppers, if you can kind of come out a little bit. Another thing with your peppers is, this is not Parmesan cheese. This is actually diatomaceous earth. The reason why I like to use my old salt shakers or seasoned shakers is because of the tops that's on them. Depending on what I'm using like the pepper flakes, I could use this because I can open up this bigger side. And using this diatomaceous earth, it lets me get a lot out. Right here on this plant, if you come in, see if I can find you some. since we haven't put any diatomaceous earth down in a few weeks, I can kind of see a few little ants. It's going to be hard for me to catch them because they're so fast, but those little black ants, what they tend to do is they tend to come right up here around where your plant is flowering, and they'll start putting those aphids all down your plant, and it'll suck the energy or the life out of your plant. So to keep that from happening, you just take your little diatomaceous earth. They say use some kind of face covering, but I'm not going to be letting it fly all over the place. So, but just like this, and you can look down here to the bottom. If you can get up in there, Bill, you can kind of see these little ants all down here to the bottom. You see them? And that's what we want to prevent. They're gonna come like crazy, and they love pepper plants. All pepper plants, they love like beans. And so how we prevent that is we want to kind of, not too much, it's probably a little too much, but of course, since when you're doing a video, it's hard to do it the right way. And I like to get a little bit on the stalk. And when they're climbing up that stalk right there, where that joint kind of tends to come together, right where that joint comes together, I like to put a little bit on that stalk. That way when they're coming up and down, they can kind of get some of that, and they don't like it, so eventually they will stop. And a real sense of things, if that doesn't work and you gotta up your game a little bit, then you're really, the easiest way to stop them, and people tell me that this is not the healthiest way for the bees and stuff, but the easiest way to stop them is just sprinkle a little diatomaceous earth on all your edges where your flowers come at, and that way, that's where they want to go. That's the only place they want to go on this whole plant, is right around your edges. So if you put that out, that'll stop them. And this is how your plant will look. If it rains or you water the plant, I always try to do this after I water. That way it can kind of get held on there. We're going to come down. So watching, like I say, you can kind of just make sure it doesn't coagulate on the top like this while you're out inspecting your plants, inspecting your ground. Just try to get some of that other soil and put over the top of that so it's not like exposed. We're gonna go in and get one of these off of here. I mean, that came clean off. That was ready to come off. And so this is our first tomato of the year. This is actually a better bush variety. It may be a hybrid, I'm not sure. But I grew it last year and it came from our local nursery, so I went and I grew it again this year. I have some that I got from the nursery and some that we started from seeds that I'm trying to see if they're gonna like kind of look the same, but I think it's the same variety. It's called Better Bush, so I like this kind. And this didn't come from 10 10 10. This didn't come from 8 8 8 or 13 13 13. Just that regular little soil. That's kind of how we do it, is we mix it in right there when we planting it. You can mix it in, and it feeds really well. I think since March we have done, I would say, 1 fish fertilizer application and probably 2 applications like this, just trying to feed the soil right around. My idea about it is I don't really go about feeding the soil out here or way on the edge of the bed. If I had the money, I probably would just at the beginning of the season throw a few bags in there and mix it all up. But when you don't have the money, you got to do what you can, and one of those things is to get that and just mix it right around that root structure. Diatomaceous earth cost me like $20 for like this huge,
Like this, 25 pounds or 50 pounds?
40 pounds. I think it's about 40-pound bag. The 20-pound bag is actually cheaper. It's like $13.99. So I went for the big bag since I used it 1 year and I liked what it did. So I actually just went ahead on and got the bigger bag to keep from going back to the store and buying some more. I think we got another tomato that's ready to come up over here.
You go that way, I'm going around because this wet all.
Right by our little water trough, but you can see these tomatoes. Something's gotten in one of them. Look at that. They're going to get you.
Yes.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Don't worry about it.
You
You're
gotta
not
share.
gonna win it all.
Look, they got another one.
Yeah.
They got a lot of. They got a lot.
Got a little infestation. So here we probably would need to go. Like I say, when it rains, that's when you need to come out and reapply. Other than that, they'll get you. Let me go up in that. Oh, they just coming off so easily. Just coming off so easily. So you can see this is our first two. We had some from the high tunnel, but this is the first two from our actual outside garden, and we're happy about. So, moms, get ready, baby. I told you I'm gonna be bringing you some tomatoes. So, and to everybody else that loves to grow for their mom and their aunts and their friends and their family and their church members and all that good stuff, just keep growing, because when they taste this stuff, they won't want nothing from the store. You'll be the store. They'll be asking you next year, hey, you growing some more of those tomatoes? You growing some more of that stuff? And it keeps you going. It kind of builds you up and motivates you to know that you're doing the right thing. So thank you for watching the update on our spot fertilization method. And as always, grow, grow, grow. Peace.